Hello everyone, welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this edition of YBMcast, powered by Game 7 Baseball, Game7Baseball.com. And today we got our tournament wrap-up going on here, and as we've got Mr. Penning in the house, or at least on your TV screen, or mobile screen, or tablet, or wherever you're watching. We do appreciate it. Dave Penning, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Brian. Thanks for having me on. And I see we have some new guests there. And, man, the ratings are going to go through the roof with these guys on. Look at this star panel there.
It is. To my far right, a first-timer on the show, Mr. Todd Nissel from the Midwest Rebels Baseball and Softball Club. We met Todd when we were doing the winter workout tour, and we were chatting. I said, man, come on the show, and voila, here he is. And back by popular demand. Did I say that right?
I guess are you the only one voting?
Can I get the check when we're done? I'm kidding. Man. Eric Eisen from the Mo Gators, also Parkway West assistant coach over there. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Mr. Penning, started off a little rough this weekend, didn't it?
Yeah, Mother Nature, she came in, and we had an event, Arch Madness. It was held at CNH and BMAC, and Friday night was looking good, promising, and about 6:45, just a little blip came over the radar, and it parked itself right over BMAC Fields there and hankered down pretty good. I drove up there. The office is about 5 miles away. I drove up there and took some photos, and could have swore we had a fishing tournament going on that weekend there, because there was water standing around all the fields and didn't look too promising. But, you know, the wind, a lot of people complained about it on Saturday, but the wind was a component why we played, because overnight, I think we got up to like 45-mile-an-hour gust, and lo and behold, it took care of all that water on the standing water on the BMAC fields there, all but field one. It kind of struggled. We had to regroup and struggle and call OCAC out there, and our good buddy Tim Drones met us out there, and we threw some bases down and chalked the fields and moved half of the 13 U's out there to C-Quad at Ozzie. So thanks, Tim, for helping us out with that and letting the show go on, because without him, half of that 13U division would have had no place to play on Saturday. So thanks to BMAC's field crew and Tim out there at O'Fallon, we got it all in.
It was interesting too. We attempted to set up the studio out there at BMAC. It was blowing over the equipment and whatnot, and after a few tries, we just we decided it was just not going to be conducive to videoing. And I think when people were finished at the ballpark, they were finished and ready to go home. We don't need to go over no studio right now. I'm going to get warm. And there was a young man who was on the field crew just covered in mud on the one half. I said, oh, man, I said, looks like ain't a good morning. Not so far. So those guys are out working hard, and that's great that we give them some love, because without the field crews, man, and stuff.
Couldn't do it. I think it's really underappreciated, especially with TDs and field crews go.
Yeah.
All you see is the product on the field, but you don't see the work that goes into it.
Absolutely. And BMAC's been doing a really good job out there getting those fields ready and playable and things of that nature. So, and it was windy, but as you said, Dave, that saved it.
Yeah, and also we had 3 divisions over at CNH. You know, Randy and JR and those guys, I tell you, whenever you see CNH on your schedule, that's a bonus, because those guys, you want to talk about some workhorses. They get out there and get after it. I mean, it could be midnight. You could be driving by and you'll see the lights on, and Randy and JR and the crew and Brad and all those guys are out there working on the fields. They get after it out there. One of the best field crews around, because, you know, they take great pride in their fields over there. They're independently owned, and it shows. They hump it over there, and thanks again to the CNH crew.
Yeah, and just to Dave's point, That's a not-for-profit organization. There's no all those guys are volunteers, so they put themselves in that place. They're volunteering their time. Nobody's paying these guys. They're doing it because they want they get it taken care of, and it's done. So
For the kids.
yeah, it's for the kids, man. So kudos to those guys. Dave, let's start down in Branson. Had some good tournament down there, and folks, Dave Schmidt as the photographer down there. He's doing a great job. Go to Game 7 Baseball on Facebook, and Dave Schmidt getting it done with the camera, isn't he?
Multitasking Dave, I call him. He was walking around there with I think it's his wife's camera. So I don't want to. But it's a really nice camera, and it takes some good pictures, and he's getting really good at it. So I was like, hey, you know what? Add that to your, put that on your list of bottle washer, ticket taker, and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So the 10U, you had Canes West Kentucky beating Prime 27-17. For the championship and 10U, and it was interesting that all these championship games were close. The 11U champs were the DOC Baseball Spikes and beating the Central Arkansas Cubs. 12U, you had MUS Elite. Now, MUS, Dave, there I believe it was Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes,
do you know what the MUS? I couldn't find that.
Mr. Schmidt might be more privy to that. He was down there handling that. I do not know, but like you're going down the list here. After that, I'd just like to point out all the winners. Look where they were from. One from Kentucky, Ohio, Nebraska, Missouri. It was a good mix of teams there in Branson.
Absolutely. And so the DOC Baseball Spikes, that was an Ohio club?
Nebraska. The 12U you're talking about, right?
Yeah, MUS Elite.
Yes.
Well, the DOC Baseball Spikes, were they from Ohio?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oklahoma was 11U, and then 12U was Nebraska.
Okay, Oklahoma. So that is a very good mix of teams there, and of course the Victus Vandals from right there in Springfield,
correct,
beating the Sticks Midwest. So that's always nice when you're down there. You do get a good mix of teams from different parts of the country.
Yeah, and the 14U had wood bat, and Dave said it was really really fun watching it with all the wind blowing out. He goes, yeah, it was like 4th of July out there. They were leaving the park pretty quick.
Even with the wood bats, huh? They were flying out.
Oh, he said it was really windy.
It's the only time those coaches ever preach launch angle, man.
So were they playing on the St. Louis field?
Yeah, we mixed them up on St. Louis and then Kansas City as well.
Very good.
The 14U, the wood bat.
Yeah. So you're looking, what is that, 250 or 263 dead center, Dave, for that those fields there?
Yeah, give or take. St. Louis is one. St. Louis and Kansas City, depending on if you're up on Kansas City, which way the wind blows, it will help. But if it's blowing out, pop up to the second baseman, might land over at the water park.
You gotta love that. Gotta love that. Always good to down there at Ballparks of America. They do a great job. And then, of course, here, Arch Madness, 9UAA champs. One of my teams that I really like, I'm going to start following these guys because I just love the name of this. Independent team, you get the names. The Midwest or the Missouri Mambas.
We talked about that last week on the show, the team names. So how were the uniforms? Did you get a chance to see them?
I did not see the uniforms yet, but I will. I guarantee I will see the uniforms. Okay. And when we're out for the 42 Classic, we will definitely be judging the best unis and all that kind of thing. We're going to get some stuff happening there. They beat the Gamers Academy in the championship game there. 10U AA champs, Young Bucks, beating the Pacific Stingrays for the championship there. And then 11U AA champs, St. Louis Prospects over the Midland Bandits. We saw a little bit of that one. That was a pretty good group there, that 11U, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite formats. If I was a coach, I'd really like it. A lot of people say, "Oh, Dave, there's only 4 teams." It's like, great. That's a perfect format. What we did is everybody, a little round robin. That way, you're assured to see 3 different teams. And number 1 and 2 played, for the third game there on Sunday. for the championship. So I love that format.
Very good. 12U AA, St. Louis Naturals, beating the U.S. Nationals, and 12U AAA, the Eureka Wildcats over the Missouri Gators. Sorry, Eric. 13U AA champs, Tribe White. That tribe is out of Jackson, Missouri, down there, beating the Missouri Titans. And then the 14U champs, St. Louis Prospects Black, beating the Missouri Gators. That 14U was a good division there. That was the one we were going to be covering this weekend, and I'm sorry we missed that because there were some really good teams in that, huh, Dave?
Yeah, that was a good mix of teams, and hopefully everything's all right with your son-in-law there, Brian. And I'm sure. I mean, we had some calls and concern about it, and you can tell they're watching. They're looking out for the show. So
yeah, and I appreciate it.
We'll make it up to them.
Yeah, we will. And I appreciate everybody, all the warm wishes. We did get some, and I appreciate it. Yes, and he is doing better. Still not quite out of the woods with some of the things going on, but he's good. He'll get there. It's just, some of those things happen sometimes. You got to deal with it.
Family comes first.
Yeah, family comes first. And that's always, when I shot Dave a text, I said, man, we got a family emergency. He said, Mr. Doubleday will be there next week. That was his. I love that, and I appreciate that, Dave, very much.
Yeah, no worries, man. Hopefully everything works out for the young man.
Absolutely. Finishing up, Illinois, Darren Dodd. If you didn't get a chance to watch the winter workout tour when we were up in Quincy with all the folks, that was a really fun time up there. Rick Lawson with Gem City Bombers and over with Bombs Away. The Q-Town tournaments did a great job up there. 8U machine pitch, Quincy Mayhem over the St. Louis Prospects. You got St. Louis teams going up there as well. 12U AA champs, Riverbats over the Gem City Bombers. And then in 14U AA, the champs, I know I messed this up because all I have is Midwest in there, Dave, and I don't think I typed that incorrectly. I'm sure there's Midwest somebody there. Lauren, you wanna pull up the old Game 7 there and find out who the 14U champs were for the AA. They beat the Quincy Patriots, but somebody in the Midwest won the 14U AA championship at Quincy. Did you like that, guys?
Wasn't it the Dirtbags? Was it the Dirtbags?
We're looking. Dave, it was a big weekend. There was a lot going on. You guys are seeing this across the board. Branson here, Arch Madness, Q-Town. You were, again, Tennessee. Down in St. Genevieve, there was a good tournament down there, too, as well, right?
Yeah, 11U's had a good little tournament on the turf down there and gave away some pretty cool prizes. They gave away belts and rings, and looks like the kids had a good time down there.
Absolutely. And that's starting to get bigger. The St. Genevieve, they're starting to get a pretty good run down there with their tournaments, aren't they?
Yeah, they're popular tournaments. I heard they go down there and I haven't had one, but I got to go down there and get me a pork burger. They're bragging about them.
I always go where the food is, right? What was it, Lauren? The Midwest Rage. There we go.
Oh.
Was the 14U champs.
Yeah.
All right. Huzzah.
The championship game
The championship game?
was what I see here is the championship game was actually the Devils, and then you have the consolation champion was the Midwest Rage.
Oh, so who was the champion of the 14U bracket?
The Devils.
The Devils
Devils baseball.
over Quincy Patriots?
Quincy Dirtbags.
Over Quincy Dirtbags. So I was looking at the
close.
consolation championship game and messed that up completely. So it was a little blurry about 10 o'clock last night when I was writing all this out, guys. So I got one wrong. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good average.
Yeah, I'll take that for your hitter, right?
Yeah, that's right.
One error. Dang it. Can't have that stuff. Dave, we got next week is the Easter deal coming up. You guys are going to be across the river in Illinois on the turf. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's unique format we have over there too. Friday everybody will play a game on Friday, and we'll end up everything pool play and bracket play on Saturday because lo and behold Sunday is Easter, and don't think it'd be a good idea for scheduling games on Easter.
I don't think most people will do that. So there you go. But if you want to get into tournaments, you still got some spots open. There's some still things. The 42 Classic coming up the following week. That's a new one you guys did this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We got a unique ring for that. It's a really cool 42 ring, and people are going crazy over it. It's really cool up front and personal, but when you look at it, but we are at a bunch of places that weekend. We'll be down at Max Creek, the ballpark's national down there at Max Creek at Lake of the Ozarks, and we'll be up here, and we'll also be on the turf over in Edwardsville, Illinois. So very busy weekend for Game 7 coming up at the 42 Classic. Looking forward to it. Got a good list of teams coming up and a good-looking shirt that Mr. Eisen created too. So ladies and gentlemen, don't forget your pre-orders for that good-looking 42 shirt created by yours truly, Mr. Eisen.
Sitting right there next to you. Do I get one?
You can have one.
Double X.
Extra large or 2X?
Extra large. Hey, man.
Hey, Dave, quick question. All kidding aside, I know in the past you guys have done the Masters tournament in coincidence with the Masters golf. Is there a reason? Was it Easter? Is that why that didn't happen this year?
Yes, that's correct. It fell on Easter weekend, so that's a big one for us, and it was just bad timing. It fell on Easter weekend this year, so look for those green jackets to come out in 2024. The return of those. The Easter Bunny would get upset if we give away green jackets, so we're giving away Easter baskets with eggs and a certain surprise inside the egg. So
Oh, there you go.
Sweet. We're looking forward to the 42 Classic, too, because we'll be out there. And we're going to have some trivia for the kids based on Jackie Robinson. It's Jackie Robinson Day on the 15th, which will be out there on that Saturday. I'm looking forward to that one because, for one, growing up a Dodger fan, Jackie Robinson was always part of the thought process there. And so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Kudos to you guys for this one. I think this is really cool, Dave.
yeah, thanks, Brian. Yeah, it's been received really well, and looking forward to giving away those pretty cool rings. So
Very good. Very good.
Are you guys sold out for that weekend?
sold out at 3 of the 4 venues. Yeah, we still do have a little room at the one locally here at Ozzy's. I think there's some room, but I think we have that shut off coming tomorrow. So
Well,
if you want to get in, you got one more day to get in there.
Last second entries.
Click game7baseball.com.
Yes,
Get yourself
sir.
entered. Dave Penning, folks. Dave, appreciate you taking the time today, wrapping up the weekend. We'll see you We'll see you at the 42 Classic, bud.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on again. And I just want to leave you with a little sad note here. Ex-teammate of mine and a coach near and dear to Game 7 passed away over the weekend. Mark Mercer with the Impact, and hearts, prayers go out to the Impact organization and team. And Mark, you're going to be missed. He was one of those guys who loved to have fun on the field and off the field. So, Merce, going to miss you, man.
Very good. Very good. Thanks, Dave. And you can tell.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to the next show, and happy Easter, everyone.
All right,
Same
we'll
to
see
you,
you next
Dave.
time, Dave.
Take care.